Hey everyone, I'm doing a live reaction here. Just got back from watching the PlayStation Experience keynote speech. I've got, or conference or whatever, two notes of pages here. I'm not going to go through everything. What I will go through though are some of the things that I thought was most impressive. What I really enjoyed about this was the fact that Sony talked about games, and more games. It was almost like Microsoft's E3 press conference, where it was just like bam, 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 one after another after another. There were a couple of big reveals, which I'll touch base on, but let's get going because there's a lot to discuss here. So I like the fact that Sony didn't really do any high-fiving, with the exception of right in the beginning, the new president of Sony Computer Entertainment America came out and was like, hey, thank you all for making the PlayStation 4 the fastest selling console of all time. So that was pretty cool. They started with like a 20-minute demo, in-game whatever, demonstration, walkthrough, whatever, of Uncharted 4. Man, it looks awesome. It looks exactly like the other Uncharted's, which is to say, brilliant. It's got the same combat engine. I did notice one thing where Nathan was like climbing up a rock face, and there was like a little outcropping. You could throw almost like a grappling hook over to it and just swing across to the next area. And if there was an enemy, you could actually like jump on them and things like that. Whatever. I could talk about it for hours. It looked brilliant. It absolutely looked breathtaking, and I cannot wait. And it's cool because at the end of the little demonstration, you see Nathan Drake's older brother, so that's kind of cool. What else did we have? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention the fact that the all the grass and the foliage looked absolutely awesome. Like as Nathan's going through it, you can see it. It's actually moving. It's bouncing off. It's not clipping through his character. Looked just amazing. Absolutely amazing. We then got MLB The Show. Again, it was cool. One thing they were talking about how whatever you did in MLB 14 in the career mode, you could actually transfer that over to MLB 15, but I'm not a huge fan of that, so whatever. The next game that looked really cool for me, there was another one they mentioned, Killstrain, but again, I don't want to go through everything here. We'll be here forever. But Bloodborne looks really badass. If you like Dark Souls, or what was it called? Demon Souls, I think. You'll definitely like Bloodborne. It looks like exactly the same, except there is online co-op, so cool. Two people can die together, and it doesn't look any easier than the other games, I'll tell you that. Okay, this was interesting. Capcom announced that Ultra Street Fighter 4 would be coming to the PlayStation 4 and will be an exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Now, what's interesting with that is, what's the point? We already saw the leak that Street Fighter 5 was going to get released, so what was the real point of having Ultra Street Fighter 4? I didn't quite get it. So, like, the only assumption I can make is that Street Fighter 5 is still quite a ways away, and so this will tide PlayStation 4 players over until Street Fighter 5. Now, I want to say something. With what happened today, I'm just going to get straight into it. They did announce that Street Fighter 5 would be console exclusive to PlayStation 4 forever. It's actually being, I guess, co-financed by Sony. So even though there will be a PC version, it will have cross-platform play between the two versions. So that's pretty damn cool. And that basically means PlayStation 4 will become the de facto fighting game console for for tournaments and things like that. Like, you're guaranteed, because if Street Fighter 5 is indeed console exclusive, and I mean, they reiterated it quite a few times that it is never going anywhere else, i.e. the Xbox One, then yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed that every single fighting game from here on out will appear on the PlayStation 4, with the exception of Killer Instinct, which Microsoft owns. So that was quite a big blow to the Xbox One, at least in terms of the fighting game community and fighting game fans. What else did they announce? There was a whole bunch of smaller games, indie games. They reiterated that the Vita is not dead. They had a whole bunch of games coming out for the Vita, mainly smaller games. not like huge AAA releases. I really liked when Peter Moore came out, tried to do a couple of jokes on the tattoos from his previous conferences and whatever, but whatever. But what I liked is that he said this weekend, if you go to the PlayStation Network, you can get Need for Speed Most Wanted on the Vita for free. You can get Mirror's Edge on the PlayStation 3 for free, and you can get Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare for the PlayStation 4 for free. So make sure you go this weekend and get those 3 games for free. One thing else I really thought was cute was Shovel Knight is coming to the PlayStation 4, PS3, and Vita, and there will be Kratos. Kratos will be in the game. So I thought that was kind of funny. Then they talked about this thing which was... something about the list. It's like fill the list or something like that, or build the list. It's basically a list that fans can go to Twitter and they can try and populate this list of the games that they most want. So like stuff like Shenmue 3, games like that. Anyways, because of that program, they announced a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be coming out. But the biggest 2 that I wanted to talk about were Yakuza 5 coming to the PlayStation 3, and obviously that's going to be exclusive. And then Suikoden 1 and 2 are going to be hitting the PlayStation Network, so that means they'll be available for the Vita and the PlayStation 3 on December 9th. Now that's huge news because Suikoden 2 is one of the most expensive games on the original PlayStation. So if you guys are interested in JRPGs, definitely go and check that one out. What else that I actually wanted to talk about? When Media Molecule came on, they were talking a bit about Tearaway Unfolded, and it's sad that, because yeah, it looks good for the PlayStation 4 version, but man, that game really was the perfect Vita game. It justified every feature on the Vita and was a perfect portable title, and it's kind of sad that they want to recoup their money and put it on the PlayStation 4 because it's such a good game. Anyways, Until Dawn is looking better and better. It's like Heavy Rain, but a survival horror game, or maybe just a horror game. And permadeath is in the game. So in other words, if you're this one character and you're going through, you'll have, say, like 2 options here and here, and you select which one in like a quick time event type thing. And then if you pick this option, the story will unfold in a different way than if you pick this one. And if your character dies, they stay dead, and you pick up in another one of the characters' sort of role, and you keep going from there. But what's so cool about that is that the overall story will morph and change depending on who lives and who dies. And if you do pick the same decision, it's not always scripted, which I think is going to be really interesting. So like no 2 players should really have the same experience. Then something very funny happened. They get a rep up from Square Enix who's like, you see the Final Fantasy VII logo up on the screen. Everyone's like, oh my god, so excited. And he comes on, he's like, like 17 years ago or whatever it was, you guys, like, you made this a milestone breakthrough game and everybody loved it. We love you for it, and we're bringing it to the PlayStation 4, yeah! And everyone is like losing their shit. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, it was just total chaos. And then they're showing you the trailer, and I'm sitting there going, this dude's English was so bad that, no, that's not, yes, technically that's what's happening, but it's not what everyone thinks is happening. You see, everyone assumes that it's like a remake or something. It's not. It's the PC version that they're porting over to the PlayStation 4. There you go. It's not bad by any means, but, it's not the remake that some people have been hoping for. We got another look at No Man's Sky. That's that like open game where you can fly around like the whole universe. You see a planet, you can go to the planet, explore the whole planet, leave, go to another one. That's looking really cool, really, really awesome. And then finally, David Jaffe came on stage to wrap things up, dropped a couple of the F-bombs, and he announced something called Drawn to Death. It's a 4-player arena shooter, and it looks really fun. You basically jump into a high school student's notebook, sketchbook, whatever, and you duke it out like that. You all have different powers and abilities. And it looks pretty cool. So for the first ever PlayStation event, I loved how they're calling it PSX, which is the PlayStation Experience event. I think they did a really good job. I really hope they do this every year because it was great. It was like having a second E3, and they're supposed to be releasing a link to where you can pre-order the exclusive PlayStation 4 PS1 theme 20th anniversary edition console. But by the time you're watching this video, most likely they will all be sold out. Anyways, guys, if you watched the event or the keynote, what did you think? Are you kind of excited for different games? Are you looking forward to Sony doing this potentially again next year? Me, I say hell yeah. I hope they do this every year, and I encourage more and more developers and publishers to do things like this, because going after the community like that in such a cool venue, I think that's a really, really good idea to give back to the fans. Anyways, guys, that's it. Those are my impressions of the PlayStation Experience keynote, and now I want to hear your impressions. So by all means, leave me a comment, do a video reply, do whatever you want, and let's get a good conversation going. So thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.